tell you. First of all, I am in a service business. I'm an attorney. And so I very much appreciate when I deal with people who are in service businesses on the quality of the service that they provide, not just the product. I think that it's very important to have what's going behind it, what are the people like. And my experience with Cooper, I needed a furnace put into, well, I am the legal guardian for somebody who's brain injured, and he lives in a small condo. And so it was not in my own house, but in somebody that I am legally responsible for. And I worked with Guy, one of your service representatives, on getting what was the appropriate heating and cooling units. And it was difficult because he had to go to somewhere where I wasn't there, and the communications. Number one, Guy was pleasant on every occasion. He was timely. And he also gave me lots of information on what would be the appropriate furnace and air conditioning. It was very impressive to me on the ability of the people to communicate and act. I could tell from the feelings of, as I would get switched around to the different people for different services, on how they interacted, that it was more like a family business. And it's my understanding that very many of the people here have worked here for 10 to 15 years. And that tells a lot about something, because the turnover in companies nowadays is so high. And usually that's because they're either not liking it, the benefits aren't good, they see something better, or they think they see something better. But it not just tells me about the company, but it tells me about the employees, because employees who stay at a place become very, not just knowledgeable, but they're committed to that company. And they want to make sure that company's reputation stays intact. And so in every way and form, I will be doing a new furnace in my own home pretty soon, because we have a low efficiency one and I'm trying to get upgrading. Even though the house is only 12 years old, be sure that I'm going to be using your services, Cooper Heating, to replace my furnace when I decide to do that. And so I think that the fact that I will be coming and using using Cooper again, it tells you that what I think of your services and you know, what I think of the company. I can't say that there's one memorable experience like, oh, that was it. That's sort of like saying, it is the totality of the experience, because my mind is always open, but I'm always aware of services provided, the people, and how they react. Because I work in the legal field, I have to be able to read people, and all of the people that I've worked with here, in how they deal verbally, but also in their actions and how they accomplish what they say they're going to do, I think is very important. So there's a friendliness, but also the actions that stand behind it. It's not just words. It's so easy to say, yeah, we'll get that done, and 2 months later it's not done. And that's what you see in many of the professions. My brother owns a company, and he said it is so hard to get people who want to work and who will do a good job. And he says he's willing to train them and everything else, and he said they leave, they come, they go. And so somehow Rosalie and Rosalie and Gary, and I've even talked to Rosalie, who actually made a call back to me concerning something that you don't usually get as the owner of the business, calling you back and having a chat with them when it was on something on a gift certificate and I'm a vegan. And just to have them do that, to take that care, to try and fill your needs too, and to think about what they can do to service you, makes a big difference in our society, because everybody can put in a furnace. Not everybody, not always well, but they can do that job. So what we look for now is, what else do they give? What is the service like? And that's what you have far and away above any of the people that I had to deal with, and used you when I had interviewed 3 other companies before choosing you to put in the furnace at Joe's house. I think the other thing is that Joe's furnace actually went out just before we were having a cold snap, and a couple months ago, and it was first part of November, last part of October, and Guy made every effort and tried to make sure that it was coming, and we knew we had to get it in before that cold snap, because it's one thing when it's 60 degrees out and you don't have heat. It's another thing when it was supposed to drop into the 20s. And I thought that him making that effort, that special effort to make sure that the work got done before the cold snap, that was one more signal that the service was there.